So we're here on a rather damp day in Kilgetty and Begelly. These were mining villages on the Pembrokeshire coalfield, and following that this became a service centre with the introduction of the railway. A bypass was built here about just over 30 years ago, and since then the population of both Cilgeti and Begelly have grown. There are lots of people who've retired into the area, and the two villages are both key to the local development plan for further housing development, so are set to continue to grow. When the group here got together, they talked to the community about the things that they wanted to happen, and one of the things that became apparent was there was a real need to try and integrate new members of the community into community life.
I think the way of life is so relaxing in Cilgeti and the surrounding area. You're minutes away from rural places, just down the road. We've got beaches, mountains, farmland, and the people are absolutely fantastic. They really are so friendly, ready to jump in and help.
So I have a particular interest in the environment, particularly the natural environment. So with Cilgeti, although it's one of the bigger villages in Pembrokeshire, it's surrounded by countryside, and you can get to it in lots of different ways. You can walk, the footpaths are quite easy to access, and the project site that we chose is right next to one of the best bits of open space in the village. So that's another reason I think that I was particularly attracted to the village. Well, I think at the outset, when we talked to the community, it was fairly clear that there were things that they felt they needed in the community that they didn't have at the time. And when we spoke to them in some detail, there were a range of issues that arose. Some of it was about transport and about being able to get to places. Some of it was about local facilities for the range of people in the community, whether they were younger or older. Some people highlighted the green space and the fact that it was there, but it wasn't necessarily accessible to them. So yeah, there was a whole range of issues, and as we started to work through that, it became clear that there was a strong need for kind of social kind of gatherings and people being able to kind of come together. And we're in a community centre now, but that's a very well used space and perhaps not big enough to cope with the actual demand. So that was one of the things that came out of it, and that, I suppose, inspired our project really. And all the time as a group we were kind of thinking about improving the quality of the environment, as well as the actual kind of facilities that we might be able to provide.
Getting this cabin on site in situ without any gubbins in it, it's meant a great deal, because what we've got at the moment isn't much more than a small kitchen that you can hardly swing a cat in. We sit there, we talk, we laugh, we joke, we take the mickey. We can't do a lot of work in there because of the lack of space. This shed will allow us to work with space, with power tools, in a more organised fashion. A little kitchen area at the back, as you can see, which will be partitioned off so that dust doesn't get amongst the tea bags and coffee.
And when we go over into the cabins, how we're going to use that is we're still going to have our main group in the main Cilgeti Information Centre hall. That's still going to go ahead every other week. The craft cabins, that's going to be used for smaller groups who can't make it basically on the Fridays. The main area is going to have a table with 6 to 8 chairs. Then we're going to have the storage units. You know, we possibly have a couple of chairs in there if you want to go and have a private chat or thing, you know, because we're there for that as well.
The key factors, I think, that have driven Rural Futures forward has been the enthusiasm of the group. The fact that it's brought together people with a vast range of skills and ideas, We don't see this as the end of the project, we see it as the beginning. We've still got plenty to do. It's linked the community together.
So what is key to this project is that from the outset the Community Council has supported and promoted everything that's happening here. What we can see at the moment are the bare bones of the first phase of the project, which is about getting these maker spaces in place. In just a couple of months' time, the area will have been transformed. They'll have connected to utilities and started to landscape the area, and the projects that will emerge from both the men's shed and the craft cabin will be plain to see all around the area.